got my start in business mainly because I made a lot of mistakes when I was younger. So didn't graduate high school.
Wow.
Got in trouble with the law. And so by the time I think my brain turned on around 22 years old, I'm like, I really got to go do something, but no one would hire me. So I worked in this machine shop cleaning floors, and I got introduced to the idea of free enterprise, business ownership.
Yeah.
In fact, I heard about a book called Think and Grow Rich.
It changed my life.
Yeah, it changed my life. And I learned that if you can focus on building something for you, your life will be way better. So I started down that journey. Because at the end of the day, thoughts are things. What you think about truly becomes your reality. And one of the most magnificent things that I've discovered in the 46 years I've been on this earth is that genuinely, whatever reality you create in your mind, you can eventually walk towards and exist in. And that's amazing because I believe we're created. We're a creation. And I believe that we can co-create. And that we can create the environment. Now, a lot of people think that's hocus pocus. But like my mentor said, he said, no, it's hocus focus.
Wow.
So if you focus on it for real, like really focus on a particular destination that you want to get to, and then you're willing to put in the work every day, consistently, eventually you can get there.
100%. So you started off when you're about 22 after getting in trouble with the law, got interested by free enterprise and business. Then what?
So my first introduction into free enterprise was through network marketing or multi-level marketing, direct sales, whatever you want to call it. And that has a pretty interesting perspective from a lot of people. A lot of people, that's a scam, that's a pyramid company, that's this, that's that. And a lot of people are right because a lot of companies are scams. There's bad things in all industries.
All industries, correct.
Insurance, banking, Wall Street, okay? Medical industry. You name the industry, and there's horrible people, but there's also amazing people.
100%.
And so I was fortunate to find some amazing people in the network marketing profession that had really accomplished some extraordinary successes. And I was able to get introduced to that process with a company called Prepaid Legal Services. It was essentially a way for people that didn't have money for attorneys to get access to the legal system. And in the United States, where I live, that's important.
Yes.
And so I got started. It didn't happen overnight. It took several years of just consistent, steady effort. And I finally started becoming successful, monetarily speaking.
Yes.
But more importantly, I developed skills. One of my early mentors, Jim Rohn, said, work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Because if you work hard on yourself, you take you everywhere. If you work hard just on your job, you'll make some money, but you'll never grow.
Yeah.
And I heard it said, some people will say, well, I've got 5 years experience in this thing, or I got 10 years experience in this. But the reality is they typically only have 1 year experience replicated 5 times.
Wow.
They never stopped. They never stopped, or they never started growing. They just stopped at some point. And you know what? They were just doing a paycheck. They were just going, showing up, doing whatever they had to do to not get fired, and then go home to do what they wanted to do, rather than trying to learn all that they can for that job. For example, I tell my son, son, it's not the job. It's you. Whatever you do the best that you possibly can at that thing. Because we can get distracted by the fact, well, I'm just cleaning floors, or I'm just taking out the trash, or you're not just, everything you do matters. And how you do one thing is typically how you do everything.
Correct. No, that's crazy, man. I think you said something that stuck out to me. You worked years and years of consistency before you became financially successful. Nowadays, in my generation, with my age range of people will try things for 1, 2, 3, max like 6 months and then give up. So I think the difference between our generations is you guys truly learned to work hard and you guys had more patience. With the era of internet and, there's the pros and cons of everything, right? With technology, but the attention span and patience has gone down massively within my generation, which leads to mental illnesses, which in my opinion, I think, if you just practice meditation and have a higher belief in a higher power, the mental illness is basically gone, right? And do some ice baths every single day, right?
Agreed.
But the attention span has really gone down. being an OG in the game, what would you say to some people that are feeling, that they don't have enough patience and they want success and they truly want it, but the patience aspect isn't there? What would you have to say about patience and success?
We don't know what we don't know. And so without having quality mentorship or a father or someone who really has been there, and I say a father lightly because sometimes fathers just don't know. And
a father figure,
yes, but a father figure who's actually been down the road and has achieved something, who's willing to reach back and say, look, here's how you get there.
Yeah.
There's potholes here. There's a cliff over there. There's some snakes over here. Watch out for this. A lot of people, unfortunately, in the world today are just kind of wandering aimlessly, like the Israelites in the desert. They don't know where they're going. And if you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. So the challenge with people thinking that we can get things super fast is we sometimes see that in social media. We sometimes see that, because we're watching an environment that's not truly real. People are presenting the best parts of themselves, or in a lot of cases, they're presenting a facade. They're presenting something that's not real in order to fool someone into thinking they are somewhere they're not. So they'll gather followers so they can monetize that in some way. So if you just look at nature, I think this is probably the best way to look at what God created. Right? Look at life. Say farming, for example. Now, most people aren't farmers. I know that, but I think most of us have the intellectual capacity to realize what that is, right? What is it? It's seed, all right, soil, sunshine, and rain. That's what it is. And so you take a seed, you plant it in the soil, you water it, you let the sun do its thing. And over time, what happens is before the plant comes out of the ground, whether it's a tree or it's a bush or whatever it is, it's growing what? Roots. See, it's growing the roots to build a foundation to support the growth. So sometimes we don't see, right? Because we're in the root phase and we don't see it. And we're walking out to the field and we're watering and the stupid seed isn't growing. There's nothing coming out, and then we leave the field when we didn't see the root structure that was building. And sometimes the bigger the root structure, the more growth you can achieve. I heard about this Chinese bamboo that, it'll grow root structure for 5 years before it peaks its little stem out of the ground. But once it does, it shoots up 100 feet in 90 days. So massive growth. And it seems like an overnight success if you didn't see the root structure for the previous 5 years. So if I go to something simpler like corn, even corn has a 90-day gestation period, meaning I plant the corn seed, I water it and I take care of it and I nurture it, but I don't receive results for 90 days. I'm not able to pick the corn and eat it for 90 days after I plant the seed. I'll give you another analogy, working out. I mean, I think all of us would agree that if you did push-ups every day and sit-ups every day and squats every day, that over a 3-year period of time, it would make a major difference in your life.
Yes.
Right? Physically.
Yes.
You could look in the mirror and see something different.
Yeah.
What most people do is they'll decide that they're going to exercise. Maybe they get a gym membership. Maybe they just decide to work out at home, or however they do it. They start working out. And after the first day, if they really give it all they had, right? They don't quit when it gets tough. They don't quit when they start sweating. They really push through, right? They get to 25 push-ups and their arms are shaking, right? But they do it because they're determined. And they get through a good solid hour workout. The next day, if they haven't worked out much, all they feel is pain. They see no results. They look in the mirror, nothing. They don't have the pecs. Schwarzenegger, they're not looking like that, right?
Yeah.
And so that's the same in business. It's the same in anything that you're pursuing, whether it's learning a language, whether it's learning any subject material. You're going to have pain and discomfort at first, and that deters people. And if they feel that for a long enough period of time, they say, well, this isn't working. And again, they leave the field.
Wow.
So if you're going to work out for a week, work out for a month, you're not going to see the results. You may start feeling something different, but you don't really see results for 90 days or so. And they may not be the results you want, depending on the shape that you're actually in, the physical condition that you have up until that point of your life. But after 3 consistent years, it's night and day.
Wow.
So if you take that philosophy to anything you do, and I'll couple that with what I said in the beginning, do everything to the best of your ability. because everywhere you go, there you are. And it just creates this pattern of excellence, this pattern
Yes.
of you becoming more. And that's more important than whatever you get.
100%, man. No, I love the analogy that you used of planting, right? Like, you know, that thought that you have, that vision is a seed, and you have to put it on the dirt and water it. And all that time and effort that goes where the you know, the sprouts are spreading, you may not see it above the surface level, but it starts within. And then we start to grow into a big, huge tree of success. But too often people only look at the surface level, but it starts within. And that's why with me and my journey to personal development, I understand that, you know, the achievement of one's goals is the development of who they are. Like you can't have something you've never had if you know, don't change something you've never done. Right. And, being able to level up and change your life and, you know, match that frequency of the person that is deserving of that and putting in enough action that a person that, let's say, you know, wants $1 million, matching that, in reality is very key when it comes to success and achieving your goals, you know?
Agreed.